I want you to imagine this scenery. Soft grass beneath your feet. Trees all around you swaying in the wind. Fresh air filling your lungs. The native plants and animals that inhabit the area around you. Now I want you to change that scenery. The trees chopped down, replaced with buildings and factories. The soft grass changed into concrete littered with trash. The native animals and plants stripped away from their homes. This is one of the problems facing America today, but it doesn't have to be that way. That's where the Defenders of Wildlife come in, a nonprofit organization made solely for the purpose of preserving and protecting the environment and its natural resources. The Defenders of Wildlife, or Defenders for short, are an essential part in protecting the environment by 1. Providing education on issues that many people may or may not know. 2. By protecting native plants and animals in their native environments. And 3, most importantly, combating climate change. I myself have been one to try and combat these many things by planting trees, picking up trash, going to animal shelters and helping the animals stripped away from their native homes. And it's saddened to see that even though you try all you can, some people are not on the same page as you. That is where the defenders come in. The defenders, like I said, provide 1, education in order to protect the environment. Many people may or may not know, but many of the animals across the country in the U.S. are going extinct, such as bees, as many of us know. However, what many may not know, along with bees, polar bears, sea turtles, wolves, and so many other animals are also going extinct. And if we don't change that, the defenders also say that in the next 100 years, that many of these animals won't be seen by any of us. And if they are, it will be a rare sighting. They also want to educate on how people can coexist with livestock and predators. This may seem impossible, but according to the defenders, it's highly possible. In order to protect yourself from predators, you must not go into their environment. You must not invade on their space. And it's simple as that. In order to coexist with livestock and predators alike, you can have many other options that are available to you, such as having range riders to protect your livestock and alert if there's predators anywhere in your area, using guard dogs that are specifically trained to combat and alert for predators, and also using trail cameras so that way you can alert your community in case a predator is there. Rather than just kill the predator and move on and change the environment entirely to where there's no predators and they have to move somewhere else, those animals will most likely die and we'll never see them again. But, like I said, providing education is not the only thing the defenders do in order to protect the environment. They also provide protection for native plants and animals in their natural environments. Many people wonder, why should I care about a plant or an animal? It doesn't pertain to me personally. I eat them, yes, but that's all they can do for me. Well, that's not all they can do for you. Without plants and animals, we wouldn't be where we are today. Plants provide us oxygen and food. Animals also provide us food and natural resources. Many of the things that defenders try to do to protect these animals is provide awareness, and they even created a foundation called the Center of Conservation Innovation, which brings alertness to endangered species and uses data and technology to find better and resourceful ways to protect the environment naturally without having man-made structures in order to protect it. What many people don't know is that in order to preserve the environment, you need to preserve the water that is within it too. Water is also part of the natural environment and a part of natural resources. And I can guarantee you without water, many of us humans would not exist anymore. Nevertheless, this is only the second reason why the defenders of wildlife are important. The third and final most important reason on why they are important in protecting the environment is because they combat climate change, one of the many issues facing the world today. It is common knowledge that the world is 30% land and 70% water. However, what many people do not know is that 30%, if you cut it in half to 15, that 15% is man-made structures. The other 15% is natural land. And in order to combat climate change, there needs to be more natural land. The defenders make it a point that people know this, and that they also make it a point to preserve natural land. Because without the trees preserving the harmful carbon dioxide that is in the air, there would be no oxygen. Many people do not know that trees can absorb carbon dioxide and convert it into oxygen. However, that happening long term is not ideal for trees, as they would die further on in their lifetime. However, like I said, 70% of the earth is made of water. And it's from this 70% that our oxygen for us comes from. However, because of climate change, we see a rapid increase in water temperature across the oceans. This is not only harmful to marine life, but our lives as well. Because as water temperature rises, less oxygen output comes from the water. The defenders of wildlife make it a point to conserve beaches and protect water environment from fossil fuels and oil riggings that may be in the water. The water is an essential part of us living on this earth for a long period of time. And with the oxygen coming from the water, if it's not enough output, we can suffocate on this earth. It's not ideal for any of us. What matters the most is going forward. Yes, we are a long way from combating climate change, but every little bit helps for the future. I mean, can you imagine a world where there's hardly any trees, where it's harder to breathe, where the water itself is harmful to not only us, but the animals? I can tell you, we wouldn't be here for a long time if that were to happen. What matters the most is what you can do for the world. Can you go plant trees? Yes. Can you pick up trash? Yes. Can you spread awareness? Yes. And can you donate to the defenders of wildlife? Yes. But it all starts with you. What can you do to protect the earth? Because this is our world. This is our home. And it's better to leave it better than how we found it. Thank you for listening.